guys, welcome to a brand new video on my channel, Megz Moviez, and we are back with another episode of Megz Moviez Weekly Watches, so let's get into it. Okay, so apologies in advance, my dog's decided to take a drink right now. So yes, we are back with another episode of Megz Moviez Weekly Watches. If you are new to this series and this channel, hello. This is basically where I go through from last Sunday to this Saturday's movie watches. So that's all the movies I've watched this week, but only the ones that I have seen before. For the simple fact of, because I'm trying to save up for a holiday, at the end of each month, instead of a haul, you'll be getting a first time watches series. So fingers crossed that goes well. First episode should be some point next week, I think, or the week after, depending on how my schedule goes. So this is just the movies I have watched before that I ended up watching this week. Some are physical media and some are on streaming services. So I'll put posters this side for the ones that I haven't got physically. So this is from the 13th of November to the 19th of November. That was the date yesterday. So let's get into it. I've got my Letterboxd open here in front of me just so I can keep track. And if you want to keep track of what I watched during the week, then go on to my Letterboxd and you can keep track there. So starting from the 13th. So the first movie of the week I watched was Turning Red. Not gonna lie, did not enjoy this. I have watched this before and I really enjoyed it when I first watched it. But after a couple of rewatches and then even after this one, I'm not a massive fan of it anymore. I've kind of sort of like gone off it a little bit. It's not a terrible movie. I've seen a lot worse movies than this. But for me, I don't know when I'd go back to this now. Probably maybe just during a Pixar marathon or something like that. But for now, Turning Red during this rewatch just wasn't as good. Okay, and then the next one is one I watched on streaming services, and that is The Curse of Bridge Hollow. I did watch this last month, but obviously I did take a break last month, so I didn't get to review it. So this is my second time watching it, and you know what? I still enjoyed this. It's cheesy, it's fun, it's Marlon Wayans, and it's a fun movie. The only thing I didn't like was the fact that there was a spider scene, and I am terrified of spiders, so I had to look away both times. But no, this is a fun little Halloween movie. It's a fun little Halloween movie, and it's one I definitely recommend you watch if you want something that you can switch your brain off of. Okay, and then the next one I watched was Black Panther. This was a second time watch for me because the first time I watched it, not gonna lie, I don't know what it was, but I wasn't a massive fan of this movie at first. Whether it's because it was a new character introduced to the, MCU universe, I don't know. But upon this rewatch in prep for Black Panther 2, Jesus Christ, I loved this more this time around. I enjoyed the suits, the action, the dynamic, Wakanda. I'd love to visit Wakanda if it was ever real. But no, this is a very fun and exciting movie. And if you haven't watched it, seriously, I recommend that you do. Okay, and then the next two, one is on streaming and the other one is in my big Disney box collection set, so I can't really show that. So first one is Pinocchio. This is the this year's remake, and I don't know what it is. I didn't mind it, but I'm not a massive fan of it. Whether it's because both Pinocchio films I'm just okay with, I don't know. But the remake was okay. I liked the fact it did something a little bit different. But at the same time, I just struggled to get into it. And then carrying on from that, Pinocchio, the original one from 1940. Yeah, again, I just can't seem to get into Pinocchio, I don't know what it is, but both films I just feel meh about. Like, I don't know if I'd ever go back to Pinocchio, either one. Don't get me wrong, I love the animation. I think it's beautifully animated. It's so lovely. So I'll give it that, but at the same time, I'm just meh about it. Then the next one I can show on physical, and that is TMNT. So this is the animated film. I actually had a lot of memories of because I got to see this in the cinema with my dad. He knew I was a major Turtles fan, so of course when this came out, he took me to see it. I still enjoy it to this day. I still have fun with this movie. It's not the best one out of the bunch, not gonna lie, but at the same time, I think it's just because I've got some nostalgic feels to it. The animation is a little different, but at the same time, I think that's what makes it unique. And I feel like this is very underrated. I feel like this one just gets pushed under the bus, so you don't really sort of like pay attention to it or anything. But I seriously recommend it if you want something nostalgic. My dog wants attention, apologies. Then the next one, well, the next two are Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This is the remake. I actually don't mind the remake. I know it's not the best, especially compared to the originals. But no, this is pretty decent. I know a lot of people didn't like this film, but for what it was, I think it is still enjoyable in places. And I do like the Turtles. I think the Turtles were quite good in this one. But yeah, aside from that, I like Shredder and Splinter. I did not like the versions of the characters in this one. But what can you do? And then carrying on, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows. Now this one is the one I enjoyed the most out of the two. I quite enjoyed how this one went. I like the fact that Casey Jones was introduced to this, Stephen Amell. He's one of my favourite actors from the DC TV series era. But no, I really enjoyed this one. This one was a bit more fun, a bit more memorable for me. And this is one I definitely would go back to at some point in the future. Okay, and then 1 second whilst I scroll up. There we go. Okay, and then the next one I watched was on streaming services because I do not have it physically, and that is Enchanted. So I rewatched this in prep for Disenchanted, which I will be doing a review of on my channel some point next week. I'm not sure when, but that will be coming up. But Enchanted. Now, I remember watching it when I was younger and thinking it was just decent. I didn't think it was anything special. I didn't think it was anything that I would go back to. So when I decided to rewatch this in prep for the second one, I actually found that I enjoyed it a little bit more this time around. I found it adorable, cheesy, typical Disney, of course. But it's a fun little movie. It's one of those ones you can just shut your brain off and just sit and watch it, especially if you like Disney films or if you like the idea of a fairy tale being twisted. Things like that is seriously definitely worth a watch, even if you just watch it the once, just to see sort of like the twist on a fairy tale. Okay, and then to finish it off, last night before I went to bed, I watched Sing. Yes, so I watched Sing because I'm doing my 52-week movie challenge book. I will get through it eventually. God, dog's so needy. But no, I decided to rewatch this. Plus, also, I'm going to be watching Sing 2 today. Because obviously, whenever there's a sequel, I'll watch the next one. I actually really enjoy this film. This is a fun film. It's got songs in there that we all know, and they are sung so beautifully, and they're fun characters. I love the character of Johnny and just sort of like the dynamic between the whole group. It's nice to see him again in the second one. I don't understand why the mouse didn't return in the second one. I don't know why. But no, this was really enjoyable. It's nice to watch this again. The songs still stand out in my head. I mean, I'm Still Standing, that's in my head. Hallelujah, Set It All Free, Shake It Off, you know, all those songs. I seriously recommend this film if you're a musical lover or an animated lover. I don't know if anyone else would enjoy it. Maybe you might. But in my head, I think I just automatically go for sort of like the musical animated lovers. Oh, dog's on the move. So yeah, that is all my movies I've watched this week that I have seen before. Just giving you my quick little thoughts on those. As you can see, it's not many rewatches. A lot of them are first time watches, which you'll be seeing reviews of at the end of the month, so it's not long now. But yes, so I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then do give it a thumbs up. And if you are new to this channel, then go ahead, hit that subscribe button and also the notification bell down below to be notified when I post. And also leave me your comments and thoughts on the movies you've watched this week. Did you watch the movie like Spirited? To which, watch out for a review for that, because I definitely will be reviewing that next week. That's all. But yeah, so let me know in the comments down below what you have watched this week, and I will see you guys in my next one.